Hi, Patrick here, Half Cheetah View, and we are here for another film review. Today we'll be talking about a short film called Honored, which came out in 2007. It stars Elisabeth Moss and Charles Borland. It was written and directed by Stephanie Fischette. And the synopsis goes, after the sudden death of her husband, Carl, in Iraq, Katie has isolated herself from the world. One afternoon, Philip, a soldier who served with Carl, arrives at her house with letters her husband never sent her. A fragile bond forms between the two as they try to understand and cope with the loss. So let's get into this film real quick. So, yes, Katie has lost her husband in Iraq, and she has isolated herself in her house, and she is not doing too well. She's unkempt. Um, she's drinking, uh, just not in a really good place, um, and she's a little bit surprised to see Philip, even though you feel like he called and let her know that he was coming, but she still seems a little surprised that he's actually there. Uh, Phillips served in his unit, Carl's unit. He was this friend, and so he came out here and to give her these letters. And Katie doesn't seem to really understand that at first, and then when she does, she invites. She's very curt with him, and she tells him to come in the house. And they come in the house, and he gives her a small stack of letters, and she looks at them, and um, he offers her a drink, and he says no, it's because she's drinking scotch. Settles for a beer, and then they start talking a little bit about what happened. Um, and Katie suddenly needs a cigarette, so she asks if he smokes, and he does. So, but they both go outside because Katie doesn't smoke in the house. And while they're out there smoking, and it's really strange how that worked out. That scene worked out. They are out there, they're smoking, and they're talking, and Katie is starting to come to grips with what she has. Um, in terms of the letter. And so she gets up there and she goes back in the house, and uh, uh, Carl follows, Philip follows her. Um, and they talk more about what happened. And we find out that Carl had actually killed himself in Iraq. He was not killed in action, he committed suicide. And Philip tells her it was because he had accidentally shot, he had shot a teenager, but the teenager was carrying a weapon, and Carl had no choice. But it just got on him. It it ruined his psyche. And then we find out that Katie had kept a secret from Philip, and a shocking secret actually. And Philip and her they talk about it, and Katie starts crying, and he's trying to comfort her, and it looks to be like a close moment. And at the last minute, Katie comes to her senses, and they pull back from each other, and they talk a little, make small talk for a little bit longer, and then that's it. Philip gets up and he leaves, and Katie's left with her letters and her memories and her regrets, and I like to say hope, but you really don't really sense that. So this is a 18-minute long short film, like I said, written and directed by Stephanie Fischette, Elisabeth Moss, Charles Borland. This came on the short film is seen on this film here. This Film Movement does this. This is one of the cool things about Film Movement. They put out a feature film. In this case, a Call Girl, which I reviewed, and then on the back of the movie they have short films. Sometimes it's a short film is featuring the main director from the feature film, but in this case, it's a short film by Stephanie Fischette. Now, I got to be honest with you. I'm sort of saddened to say that Stephanie Fischette really did not follow up on this, not unless her IMDb is way out of date, because she has barely anything after this. Um, nothing worthy of her talent, because this is a beautifully filmed and written short. The acting is excellent. Elisabeth Moss is a really strong actress, and she's shown that many times. She's won so many different awards for her acting. It's just, she's one of the best actresses of our generation, actually. Charles Borland also, though, it's sort of weird, is that he didn't do that much in terms of his acting career after this. It was shockingly so. I was like, where, what has he done? Because he's really good in this. But again, there's nothing much here. This is a two-person short. There's no other actors. Charles Borland had a career. He acted for a little bit on some episodic TV, and he did some Broadway, off Broadway, and then he says that he is a co-founder and CEO of Voltacu, a radically new kind of lean virtual production. So I guess he started a production company. That's a shame, because he's a really good actor. I was shocked to see that that he really wasn't. He didn't have the work that equaled his skill. But that happens. I mean, we're talking about a short film from 2007, and here is 2023. But it was noticeable when I went to find out more about the people involved in this film. I was like, wow, this is going to be, this is a really great short and beautifully acted. I mean, everybody must be doing super well. And then I was shocked to find out that career-wise, I was a little surprised to see, not with Elizabeth Moss per se, but with Fischette and Borland, how little they have done since this film. And that's a shame. That's a real shame, because they were both, everybody involved in this was excellent. This is definitely would be rated R as far as the film goes, rated R. I wish I could show you the film. I was going to put it down in the description box. Short films are everywhere on YouTube, but I could not find the short. I looked and I could not find the short film for this one. So I'll keep looking, and if I do, I'll add it in the description box. But I will put the link to Film Movement in the description box below, and I'll put you the link to our review of A Call Girl, or Slovenia Girl, as well, which is the review I did before this. Highly recommend Film Movement. I mean, this is an amazing company. They do tremendous films, and the unique aspect of including a award-winning short film on top of that is makes it all that more interesting. One note I will have to say that which is really funny, because in this film right here, they did previews, and they previewed the one film of all the films that they've had. The one film that I watched and reviewed, they included it on the trailers, which I thought was really fun. That movie was called Storm, and actually I will put that in the description box below so you can get an idea of the caliber of films they make. All right, thank you so much for watching. I wish I could have the film to show you. I don't, but if you find it, drop it in the comments box below with a link to it, and I will go ahead and I'll put it in the description box. But trust me when I tell you, if you do go for if you do get into Film Movement, look for this one. Look for this one. That's where you'll find Honored at. So, all right. That's it for this review. We will talk at you soon. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscription button. Leave a comment down below. Hit the thumbs up button. All helps the channel. and we will see you for the next one. Peace.